So your body paragraphs in a literary analysis will all be about quotes and source integration, or if not quotes, at least textual evidence of some sort. Now, you spent your whole life learning how to have a conversation with people in the real world. Um, a literary analysis asks you to talk back to books. We can refer to this as source integration, or a simpler way of saying this might just be writing about writing. The good news here is it's really much less complicated than the infinite variations of conversations that we might have on a day-to-day basis. And it essentially follows the same basic formula that you will alter to fit your needs as you're writing. And this formula can be referred to as the quote sandwich, which looks like this. Essentially, you introduce your quote or your topic for that body paragraph. The quotation itself or the textual evidence, if you're paraphrasing, will be the middle of that sandwich, and then your bottom piece will be your analysis. So introduce the quote or topic, the quote or paraphrase, and then the analysis of that quote. To check out an example of how this works, let's say we have an example essay we're going to be writing about If Black English Isn't a Language, Tell Me What Is by James Baldwin. And let's say this is our thesis statement for this essay. In If Black English Isn't a Language, Then Tell Me What Is, James Baldwin highlights the unique historical circumstances that led to the development of a new, distinct language rather than a mere dialect. So that's a thesis statement. It appears in our introduction, and now we're moving on to write the body paragraphs that are going to prove or support this thesis statement. And so we would see something that looks a lot like that quote sandwich. First up, early on in the essay, Baldwin argues that language grows and changes based on social, historical, and geographical context. So that's introducing the topic and the quote that we're going to be getting into. Now, the middle is the quote itself. Using French-speaking communities across the globe as an example, he writes, quote, "They each have very different realities to articulate or control," end quote. And then the final piece of this quote sandwich is our analysis. So digging deeper into that quote or piece of textual evidence, the author presents language as a tool to manage social realities, which can be vastly different depending on the time and place the language is being used. In other words, people experiencing different things will be saying different things, even if they share a common language. So digging deeper into the quote, putting it into your own words or putting it into trying to communicate it to your reader as easily as possible, so that they're understanding your interpretation and how it ties back to your thesis statement. And included in the slides, you will see some stems that you can use to get the ball rolling on a body paragraph that will be using source integration. So the text or author demonstrates, suggests, proposes, identifies, claims, maintains. So these are here to kind of mix and match. You don't have to follow these exactly, but it gives you some good academic verbs to use to set up your quotes and get those body paragraphs rolling. And then there's a few more here, in particular expressing agreement or disagreement to whatever the topic or issue of that essay might be. So putting things together and starting to synthesize many essays or many points of view, maybe, as author perceptively or insightfully or correctly pointed out, blank, and this seems to or appears to be blank. Again, here to mix and match, not exact templates, but just some good tools to use as you go about writing your analysis.